Hello clever people and welcome to my review for Black and Blue. So Black and Blue is a movie starring Naomie Harris and Tyrese Gibson, and it follows the story of a new rookie cop who is hired onto a night shift, and when she is on the night shift, she catches some police doing some illegal activity on her camera, and she is trying to get the videos of the illegal activity to a database in order to try and get the information out about what the police are doing. And in doing so, there's a lot of race-related topics that are brought up and brought into the situation. So Black and Blue, to me, from the trailers, looked like kind of a trashy movie. In all honesty, it looked like a straight-to-DVD movie, so I was not looking forward to it at all. I had no reason to be excited. I saw it on a random Sunday just because, and it was not a great movie. There are a lot of problems with this movie, especially with the message that it's trying to portray. This movie is very much a film that's trying to highlight the problem with policemen and African American people. And it's trying to show that African American people aren't the thugs that policemen associate them to be. Especially, that's why the lead character is African American and not a white person trying to get this information through. It's trying to make a statement. However, other than the lead character and one other very small minor character, every single African American in this movie is a prostitute or a drug dealer or a hacker or living in the slums. And for a movie that's trying to represent African American people in a non-cliche way, it's very, very poor at the way that it represents itself. And honestly, I could see a lot of people getting offended by this movie. But outside of all of that, the film itself honestly isn't even that good. I think it's like an hour and 50 minutes, but it feels like so long. And the movie keeps on going and going with scenes that, while they feel necessary to further the plot, it feels like there's a lot of repeat information in too many of the scenes. And there's just a lot of really stupid things in this movie. Like, there's one point where a kid in the movie gets a text message, and not only does the text message look stupid, but from that one text message, the kid prepares to do something that is completely unbelievable that any kid would ever do, but they do it just because of the text message. I don't know. There's just a lot of really strange things in this movie. And also, for this movie being a thriller type, detective cop movie, it follows every single cliche of detective cop movies that you could possibly imagine. Whenever a character does something or turns or finds a different side, you know exactly when it's going to happen and you know exactly why it's going to happen. They place things at certain times in the movie too, where it's like, oh, the movie might be ending, she might be uploading the information, but you know for a fact that she isn't because you're only 30 minutes into the movie. And the movie goes on for so long, repeating so much information. Honestly, at the end of it, I was just so happy that it was over. And the acting is unfortunately really bad. Naomie Harris is an exceptional actress, and as this decade is coming to a close, I can firmly say, unless I see something in the next 2 months that changes my mind, Naomie Harris's performance in Moonlight is the greatest female performance of this decade. It's not an over-exaggeration. I think her performance in that film is stunning. It's beautiful, and it's a great way to represent how emotionally manipulative people can stay in people's hearts. And I could talk forever about how deep and complex that character is and how it's so stupid that she didn't win the Oscar that year. Like, Viola Davis was great in Fences, but that was an actor's movie. Naomie Harris took a role that with any other actress could have been such a cliche character and made it so fleshed out and beautiful. So I know she is one of the greatest actresses working today, but it's also obvious from this movie that she needs good material to work with, because in this movie, she's horrible. She's terrible because she's breathing really heavily all the time. She's constantly in a high-pitched voice. Her character seems like she has no other personality trait than scared, and I don't necessarily blame her because I know how good of an actress she is. I just think that she was given material that she didn't know what to do with. So in the end, Black and Blue is just a really messy, really cliched movie that nobody needs to pay attention to. Nobody digs. The box office returns weren't that great. This movie isn't going to be making any money for the studio, thank goodness, and I really hope that we don't see movies like this that are so cut and dry formula. I will give Black and Blue a 3 out of 10. Alright, that concludes my review for Black and Blue. So, what are your thoughts on this film, or what is your favorite cop movie? Comment in the comment section below and let me know. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.